Tell us about hanging a hammock in a frame such as this. Here we have tarps. We have a A-frame kind of construction made from local timber. And now we're hanging a hammock.
Well, it's pretty simple. We just have a nice mosquito net that is made more or less by a number of people in Georgetown on their sewing machines, and it fits right around the hammock. So we make a little box right above with some government red herbarium string.
Where'd you acquire that?
With no complicated knots so that we can readily tie and untie. So there's half of our box. And with the rest of your government red, we complete the box. We're setting up camp here at camp number 5, about 3,000 feet or so. Headed up Parting Tepui. Believed to be the first people ever to be on top of the mountain, so for sure the first people to make botanical collections. So there we have our box. You can see that it's a little too high on this end, so we just do a quick loose as such. With our quick knot. And there we go. And the only thing left to do is to tie the opening.
The bottom.
So for that, again, I'm going to do it on this side, facing the kitchen, because
This is our kitchen.
yours truly is half of the morning's bake team, the 5 a.m. bake team, and as not to rattle the rest of our campers, I sleep near the kitchen. And this is just a simple up and over. Same on the other side. You'll see that this fine herbarium strapping makes for doubles for good hammock rope. Easy to do and undo. Some of us are Luddites and prefer the old-fashioned way. I prefer Herbarium Supply Company.
And we have a little pouch here.
And there's the pouch. So there's your headlamp.
Look at this from afar.
Quite lovely.
Now,
First
the
hammock.
string is just one method of hanging your hammock. Alternatively, as you'll see in a moment, Ken and Alex here like to stretch the box with sticks. I don't like sticks because they are hazardous to my health and my eyeballs. So, but whatever your method. Good.
Tell us about all these buckets down here.
Alex, would you like to tell us about the buckets?
Yes. Well, we pack everything, pretty much everything that we will be using and have used for the last 3 weeks, into these buckets and haul them up the mountain. So as you can imagine, for a team, there are 4 scientists, 1 field assistant, and anywhere from 5 to 7 Amerindian guides and porters, depending on who's gone off to play soccer or not. So we have to live out of these buckets for, like I said, about 6 weeks. So I believe before we came here we had about 38 buckets packed.
45, wasn't it?
We had 45 buckets packed, and I mean anything and everything that needs to come up with us is in those buckets. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks.
Well, let's take a look in a couple of.
Sure, let me open one up.
So these buckets are recycled from motor oil and food and commercial food products. They are an ideal, indestructible, watertight way of transporting stuff on trips such as these. They also serve as stools and seats and tables and other
pressing
Press
surfaces.
surfaces. So here's a breakfast bucket.
We line it with a garbage bag just to keep the dirt out and any residual moisture.
So let's see, what have we been eating for breakfast? Well, oh, slippery. So something you learn to deal with in the bush, not only ants, but lots of mud. So what have we got here? We've got some oats. That makes for a quick breakfast. What have we got here? Cinnamon and nutmeg for the, I would say most mornings, which Erin and Redden have been getting up at about 5 a.m. to make dough, knead out these lovely little circles, and fry us up. They're called bakes, but they're fried. And we've been having fried bread for breakfast every morning, and a little pinch of nutmeg and cinnamon goes a long way.
We've got tea, we got baking powder, yeast.
Some
amazing guava
cherry jam covered in a flour bag, which seems to have opened. More cherry jam.
And endless pounds of
flour.
So that's the breakfast bucket.
That's a breakfast bucket.
In a cinch.
Yeah, your options are pretty much farine, oatmeal, bake. Let's see, what have we been having for dinner, Erin?
Oops, sorry, there goes Ken's camera.
Oops, okay.
Dinner bucket looks something like so. Ta-da!
So, if you can imagine cooking for 10 to 12 people at home in your kitchen, imagine what it's like cooking, feeding, and then cleaning up after 12 people who have been working all day long. It forms a considerable portion of our time.
We have instant mashed potatoes from Costco.
Good for moving days because they take little time. As well as noodles.
Macaroni and cheese, instant.
Most nights we're always having some form of beans.
Black-eyed peas.
Black-eyed peas or chana.
Chickpeas.
We have textured vegetable protein, aka chunks.
Sounds better than it tastes.
Rice. Right now we're soaking dal or split peas in the pressure cooker. We're going to make dal tonight. And that's, in essence, what we have. We, of course, always go with our SOS bucket, our emergency supplies. So we've got every kind of medicine you can imagine, EpiPens, suture kits, malaria test strips. We just last night finished treating one of our Amerindians for malaria. And, yeah, satellite phone, all the basics, a couple pounds of chocolate.
And this is where the magic happens. The camp kitchen. Right now it's sort of serving as our triage point. But every meal is prepared here on this table. This is where we keep all of our dishes. We'll usually keep milk and such out. Unless we have an ant problem, which we've had at 2 of our camps. So,
for example. Camp number 3.
Oh, camp number 3, yes. We were overrun by leafcutter ants.
Cushy ants.
Cushy ants, as they're known here.
So we had to tie everything up, and the things that got left sitting out or on the ground were susceptible to complete devouring by the ants. So our pressure cooker, which is worth more than gold here, you can see it's got this nice seal, but the cushy ants,
they ate the march nicely.
They ate the gasket, and it just barely functions. Without it, we would be cooking beans all day at lunch at camp.
Bean water.
So that's camp.
So that's a little bit of camp life here.
Right now the guys are making a second trip back to Micrander camp, our 4th camp. And
we're trying to set up before they get back and help out.
Yep.
Because those guys do a lot of work every day, and anything we can do to make their lives easier, we try to do. So that's camp life. This is Erin and Alex, camp life. Okay.